Welcome back to Holistic Developer channel. In this video we're going to do a Q&A, and also later in the video I will announce a giveaway. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. If not, feel free to do something more useful with your time. And let's get started with the Q&A. Last week I believe I asked you in a post to drop your questions if you would like me to answer those in a video, and that's what we're doing today. So I will go ahead and I'll read the question and I'll try my best to answer those. So a question from Junior. Hi, can I make a question? How is the opportunity for beginners in software development in your city and country? It says county, but I believe it's country, so sorry if you meant actually county. Are there small and big companies that are hiring beginners? And another question is it difficult to find a job when you don't have experience? So let's take one question at a time. And wow, this is a perfect timing for this question. The reason is that actually yesterday, during my bootcamp experience, coding bootcamp, colleague presented his project, the project that he's currently working on, and he is scraping the tech job listing sites such as Indeed for jobs that are actually for entry-level people. So I was pleased to see that they're actually, the results that he was getting around in his area, they were like from 200 to 1,000 or something like that. He was doing some filtering based on his skills or his interest and so on. And I hope this answers your questions. If there are opportunities for software engineers, yeah, there are opportunities for entry-level software engineers. And the following question, are there small and big companies that hiring beginners? Yes, looking at the results that he was getting, there are a lot of companies that, small and big and medium, hiring beginners, software developers. And also there are other programs like Apprentice. It's a program that partnerships with Microsoft and other companies, I don't remember all of them, that are hiring actually people who are just starting to learn coding, and they kind of do an apprenticeship program for them. So there are many different opportunities. So yeah, it depends, and there are many different offers there. And to answer the following question, is it difficult to find a job when you don't have experience? So I will assume that you're saying that you don't have a real job experience, but you do have experience writing code or making a project start to end, and you know what to do. In those cases, it's really hard to answer this question because it's so subjective, right? You might be really smart and be able to solve technically everything, but if you lack those soft skills that are needed to pass a coding interview or to pass any interview, it will be really hard. So it's really subjective. Can you communicate in a coding interview? Do you involve the interviewer in your process? Like, how do you want to solve the problem that it was given to you for the interview? It depends on many things, but it really, what it boils down to is that, will that person really want to work with you as a colleague? So it's really important not to only have those technical skills, but also the soft skills. Yeah, I hope that answers your question. Moving on to the next question, and it's from Shah. Well, it's an amazing question. How do you deal with a burst of information at odd hours of the day? Let's say you are with your family and then the solution to a bug pops into your mind. Do you go fix the bug, and do you defer the fix for later? In essence, tell us more about work-life balance. Thank you. As I said, this question is an amazing question, and as you probably saw in my previous video, I mentioned that I'm trying to find a balance. I'm passionate about coding, I'm passionate about my career, and I also love my family, and I love my daughter, and I want to spend time with them, and I'm always trying to find a balance. So, and you're absolutely right that there are moments where inspiration or ideas come at odd hours of the day, or not when you expect them. And to just be real and tell you the situation is that, yeah, when that happens, I'll either use my watch and I'll use my voice memo app to record the idea that comes into my mind, and I'll review it at an appropriate time, or I'll use my Google Keep Notes to drop a note on the idea that popped up in my head, and I'll make sure to add tags so it will be easier for me to find that, giving what is it for. And that actually comes both ways. I might be working on a project and I might have an idea that is not related to programming or career stuff. It might be related to family stuff. So I won't drop everything either. And what I will do, I'll do exactly the same. I'll take my note, and in this case it's Google Keep Notes, and I'll drop the idea in the note there and tag it so I will be able to find it later on. And also there are moments where I'm watching my daughter. She might be doing her stuff, she might be watching a cartoon, and I'll be just sitting right next to her, and in those cases I could probably do something. And in that case I'll use my iPad Pro and use Pythonista. I have it installed there, or I'll use Replit. Replit is really great. I recommend it, and also it's really easy to look at GitHub. So I have GitHub installed on my tablet, and I'll use it. I'll look at what do I have, probably plan the project or something like that. So I'm trying to find a balance, like when she doesn't need me to actually look at the cartoon with her, I will try to do something else. But yeah, it's always trying to find a balance, and hopefully that that answers kind of the question. But it's an amazing question, thank you for it. Let's move on to the next one. How are you? It's from Lucas Fernandez. Hi, how are you? What tips do you have for someone who are studying web developing and are thinking to become a freelance software developer? Do you recommend it? Okay. I thought a little bit about this question, and there's so much that can be said regarding to this question, and I just probably will give you some stuff that I would like somebody to tell me when I'm studying something new, and I'm dealing with a lot of uncertainty and all that stuff. So the first thing that comes to mind is that just keep in mind that there are many ways of solving one problem, and that's what is beautiful about software engineering. Everybody has their own ideas, their own way of doing stuff, and you might have one way of solving it, and maybe that's what sets you apart. So just keep in mind that if you see somebody else doing it differently or something like that, that's okay, because we are all different and we think differently. So keep in mind that there are many ways of solving the same problem, or the same project, right? And also, when there are times when something doesn't make sense, or something is really hard, or you get frustrated that it's not working from the first time, or it takes you longer to learn something or wrap your head around it or something like that, just understand that first you have to learn to crawl before you can walk, and before you can run you need to learn to walk, and before you can do a marathon you need to be able to run. So apply that into software engineering as well. Before you can do something super hard, super scary, or really complex, you need to be able to solve small things and do really well, that feel and that you are comfortable with that before you can move on into something more complex, something more advanced. And that's how you kind of learn. You learn something simple, and step by step you make it more complex. What else did I want to say there? It was that I think I mentioned that in a previous video, that don't compare yourself with other people. You really don't see how long it takes you. Like if you're watching a tutorial online and you see that somebody is getting stuff done immediately, or it takes them like, oh, it took them 15 minutes to solve that, but in reality they probably spent hours to wrap their head around that thing and then recorded a video about it. So don't compare yourself with anybody. Just, we all think differently, and we all have our own process to process information, let's say that. And to answer your question, if I would recommend it, it's I think the question is, do I recommend to learn web development? And I would say yes, because look at me. What did I do? I quit my job, my software engineering job that I had for about 8 years. What to do? Like, to what extent, right? I dropped my job, I quit my job because I wanted to pursue web development, I wanted to learn it. So do you think I would have done that if I didn't believe in it? Yeah, answer that question. And another tip that I would like to recommend in this case is that work on projects that you're passionate about. If you're passionate about swimming, create a web page for that. Create a web page for swimmers. Everything and anything related to swimming. If you're interested in collectible cars, do a web page for that. And that will be something that will help you develop, continue growing and learning. And another plus will be that you will continue to stay motivated because you're working on something that you're interested in and you're passionate about, and you have the advantage of already knowing that stuff, right? And another benefit is that will be the projects that will go into your portfolio, and it's something that you can showcase to your potential employers and recruiters who will be considering you for the job, for the software engineering position that you are applying for. So to answer the other question that you have, do I recommend becoming a freelancer developer? Well, I'm really not equipped to answer this question because I haven't done any freelancing, and I don't really know anybody who's doing any freelancing on the side or anything like that. So I don't really know. But what I can tell you in this case is that try to answer why you want to do freelancing developing. Is it because the freedom, or is it because... For the unknown reasons, my camera stopped mid-sentence, so I'll try to continue to pick it up from where I left off. So, what I was saying, it was about freelancing, right? So try to understand, why do you want to be and explore freelancing? Is it the lifestyle? Is it the freedom? Is it the financial incentive? And once you understand that, also try to answer the following question. If you don't see freelancing succeeding in 6 months or within a year, will you continue doing it? Will you do it anyways? And if the answer is yes, then go for it. Try to understand your reasons, what it's so appealing about it, and if you can afford that, go for it, try it. And the following question is kind of it's an appending question to this question that Lucas had, and is from Abhishek. I hope I pronounce your name correctly. You say it the same, but as a full-time web developer. And I hope that I answered this when I mentioned that I quit my well appreciated job as a software developer, and I've been developing professionally for the last about 8 years, and I quit my job to pursue learning web development. So hopefully that answers the question and my viewpoint about web development. I believe in it, and if I didn't believe it, I would not focus my time, my last the previous 6 months, into learning about web development. Let's move on to the next question, and this question is from Al. Can a programmer work full-time from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.? And my answer is, again, from my experience, yes, you definitely can. There's this stigma, or this kind of going around this impression that all developers have to work 12 hours or 14 hours or something like that. And I won't lie to you, there are days you will have to do that, but that's not always. So again, from my own experience or from the friends that I have in software engineering, I can tell you that software engineering is pretty forgiving. You can set up your schedule like I did. In my case, I set up my schedule to work from 4 a.m. in the morning, then within around 6 or 7 in the morning, I'll take a pause for 2 hours, and then I'll resume. And it's basically what I'm trying to say. Software engineering is such a forgiving job that allows you to set your hours. But again, that has to be taken with an asterisk, let's say, because it might depend on your company. Some companies might need you to be from, let's say, 8 to 5 if you are in a help desk or something like that. So what I'm trying to say that most software engineers have the freedom of picking their schedule. I had times where I'll work from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. I'll have days when it will be from 6 a.m. till 7 p.m. and I'll have days when it will be from 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. and all depended on the project, on the workload, or what something was going on for me. Like if I wanted to take a day off or work a few hours less on Friday, then on Thursday I will compensate for the hours that I won't be working on Friday, or I will be probably picking it up on Saturday if I didn't do it. So it's basically you find a balance, the balance that works for you. So hopefully that answers your question, because when I replied, you said, how do you say it 8 hours a day, but some programmers work from 8 to 6, and when I see this schedule I want to leave the programming permanently? And you're laughing, right? Again, it depends on that person. It might be that people were doing something like maybe they took a 2-hour lunch, or maybe not. Maybe you can see that 8 to 7 p.m., right? It's all relative, and it depends on the company, and I don't think the company can force you to work more than 8 hours. Legally, I don't think they can do that, but it's completely up to you. Do you want to feel productive and compensate for the times when something doesn't make sense, or for the learning curve and so on? I think it's all subjective. It depends on the person. But maybe there are actually companies who require you to work so long. I don't know, maybe Tesla? Who knows? I have no idea. And there's another question that I got today, and let me find it. So yes, this is question from Rishab. Yes, can you please suggest a good oh my god. Okay, one more try. Yes, can you please suggest a good boot camps for freshers? I am in the last year of college and want to learn full stack. How do I decide which one is best for me? Okay, first of all, you are in college, you just learned something. Why do you want to go full stack? Probably you have your reasons, but what I'll recommend here are just a few tips, but that can be probably a video on itself, and this video is already getting too long. First of all, look at the curriculum, see what is the curriculum. Do you like it? What is being will be taught or not? If that's okay, then it's a plus. Next, look at the day. What will day look like? Will you be actually interacting with the teachers, with the instructors, or will you just be spending time with TAs and they will be answering your questions? Make sure that you understand who will be teaching the classes, because that's something that I actually didn't do well. I didn't research who will be the lessons be taught by. Also look at what are the requirements, and kind of look at the success rate of the bootcamp. There are so many things that can be said in here, so I should create another video, separate video about this, but definitely the top 3 things: look at the curriculum, look at what is the work day look like, and look who will be the teachers for that curriculum. So those were the answers for the questions that I got so far. Let's move on to the giveaway. But first, if you have any other questions that I, for whatever reason, missed and I didn't answer in these questions or in this video, make sure to drop your questions in this comment, in the video comments below, and I'll try to answer in the next Q&A, which probably will be in a week, or not a week, a month or so. So if I will have enough questions, I will do a different video and I'll answer those questions in that video. Okay, let's get to the interesting part. If you stayed for so long, you actually listened to the answers to the questions that I had. Now I will announce what I'm planning to give away. So I'm actually planning to find a home for this Google Mini, which I actually love it a lot. So what do you have to do to win this Google Mini? It's pretty simple and it's pretty standard. Like, you just have to subscribe to this channel if you haven't subscribed yet, share it with your friends who might enjoy the Holistic Developer channel as well, and leave a comment telling me why would you like to win this Google Mini. Like, what will be your use cases? Like, do you want to create a new app for it, or what is the use case that you're planning to use? And yeah, the winner will be picked based on those criteria. One thing that I want to also add here is that this will be a US only giveaway, because in the pandemic and in the world that we're living right now, I don't know how the shipping internationally will be handled. So for now, this is a US only giveaway. Yeah, that was the video. It's kind of a long video. Thank you for staying until the end, and as always, I'm wishing you happy engineering. Stay sharp, stay curious, and have fun. Bye bye.